5G is about transforming the network. And I don't think it's about any particular set of use cases. There are a whole bunch of new capabilities and flexibility, new capabilities which will be enabled in the carrier network, and the network will become more flexible and agile.
More and more service providers, over-the-top guys, application providers, you know, car manufacturers, all these verticals, we're going to have to work closer and closer to get that model right, not just from a cost point of view, but to also ensure that these applications that we're building actually work and deliver value.
So it's not just about new radio. It's the LTE Advanced Pro will play a big part in delivering 5G performance.
To really meet the needs of 5G, let's push the services and the storage very close to where the user is. So we can essentially have service migrate to where the users are, or even the storage migrate to where the users are. And by doing that, we are able to provide better user experience. We are also able to save a lot of operational costs for the service provider because the backhaul is less utilized now.
5G is supposed to bring new features in the radio interfaces where you don't need to essentially work with trade-offs between capacity, between density, between the number of devices. But obviously you can't create from nowhere, so you can compromise them on demand, and that is the role of the core. And actually it's where new abstractions come. With that, you have the network slicing concept, you have the way of having a cloud-native environment, and all that changed significantly the rules of the game, because it changed the way that you operate that. And the point is that it's expected to enable a new way of creating services, which is not that complicated as now.
There's a phenomenal amount of compute that will be coming to the edge. We have just released some new servers from Hewlett Packard Enterprise that are actually deliberately designed 60mm depth, so they'll fit into all those telco environments. And they are more powerful, or as powerful as our mainstream computers that we put in data centers.
There are use cases in water meters that was just not possible with a full LTE network because of the economics. But once you put in the LTE-M solution, the cost of the device comes down, you get additional 12 to 15 dB margins, you get a long 5 to 10 year battery life. Suddenly this use case becomes real.
I think the evolution and the agile aspect of the network, the use cases, and hence the standards have all to change, and I think that's what I think 5G is going to achieve, and if it has to be successful, it must achieve.
If you want to have that tactile experience where you're wearing some sort of glove that gives you feedback, you can't do that in the center of the network. You have to do it at the edge. And I think, you know, the thing that really occurs to me in Mobile World Congress this year is how innovative we're starting to see that, because of edge compute, how innovative services are starting to materialize that before really, you know, you think, oh, that's too hard, I can't do it because I have to take all this stuff back, I get latency, I get packet loss, I get jitter. Now we can put these services at the edge, and I think if I wander around Mobile World Congress at the moment, all the cool things that I'm seeing with cars, with robotics, with other stuff, all of it is powered by edge compute.
5G will bring a complete transformation in the way that businesses can connect to the network. With the 1 millisecond round trip time, this will allow access to very secure management of IoT solutions. It will enable the access to virtual reality, connected cars in a safe fashion.
Smart cities, smart homes, connected factories, autonomous factories, connected cars, and more. And these use cases represent different requirements from their network, and more specifically from the base station.
From 4G to 5G is not only for radio, more business transformation, especially a new business model and a new user story behind. So that's totally different nature of a condition, and the environment is a drastic change.
Some of the most advanced and interesting technical innovations in 5G are indeed happening now and can be tested in 4G, even in limited forms, like millimeter waves for fixed wireless access, massive MIMO, virtualization, Cloud Run. These are things that will happen, will have like a 100% advantages in 5G because the framework will be prepared for that from day one.
So what's the 5G network going to look like in the 2020 timeframe? And it's very much likely to be an LTA Pro network with islands or a grid of 5G integrated together into a HETnet. So it's really important to carry on evolving your LTE network and then introduce 5G in that context. I don't think you're going to see a big bang approach where it suddenly goes from 4G to 5G.
And it's also one of the key drivers that's showing that the original concept of 5G isn't all that it needed to be, right? It's what's driven some of the evolution in the definition. And as I say, you start to see more and more of the workloads having to be dealt with at the edge, regardless if we get to sub-millisecond end-to-end timings and gigabit bandwidth.
In IoT with low latency cases where people are saying you need to wait for 5G to try them out, reality is that adopting edge computing and MEC technology within your network, you can already start experimenting those services, hosting those applications at the edge of the network, figuring out what are the metrics that are valuable for the customer, and then when you move to 5G, you target those investments in those areas, you gain experience. And you've been building a platform which is built on a generic computing, software-based, and can be reused towards 5G.